Well, here we are. We're back with segment number 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with Michele Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, I think you were going to continue on with the topic we started on there before the break.
Yeah. Okay, so
people are buying condos, but it's investment condos.
Yeah, and with the new rules as of January 1st, 2023, there's no more rental restrictions on strata. So this is even going to be more so. So it's a really hot market right now, strata is, and that might have to do with a lot of it. So BC is home to some of the priciest real estate in the world, but that isn't holding investors back. Nearly half of condos made from 2016 or later were investor owned in 2020. Even in Vancouver, where most of the building is concentrated, the share was similar. It was 48.1%, so just a tad bit under the overall. So to the province-wide, it's just a trend. Better than Ontario and Toronto, but not something that was seen before the global financial crisis sparked a low-rate era. Our lovely listeners, who we appreciate so much.
Are we sucking up now?
No, we don't do that, Curtis. Come on.
Seemed like we might be a little bit.
It did kind of have that segue into it.
It was a little sugary sweet there. It was a little over the top.
Well, sometimes. Where's my coffee?
That's the problem.
That is a problem. Okay, so this I wanted to say, if they're going to have, if you have had situations where this has completely changed the forefront of your strata, not even to mention the age restriction issue that's been happening. Issue, I say, because some people who buy a strata where they changed the age restriction and they didn't get a possession date by the time that the strata ruled either against or for it. So they have to have a ruling in their AGM and they have to vote. 3/4 of the owners have to vote either to go 55 plus if they were earlier age restriction, like 45 or 35 or 25. And if they don't push it through, if it doesn't get voted in, then all of a sudden they don't have age restriction. But what happens if they do push it through? And
there was
then
something in the news the other day about a woman who just recently became pregnant. And
oh, wow.
They're trying to push her out, I guess, because they were putting the age restriction in.
Oh.
That was it's a pretty awkward, awful story.
That is pretty tough. That is really tough, actually, because wow. But it's up to the strata. If they have a heart, I would like to say, let them live there, let them stay there. I always say, again, the government. It would have been nice if they would have put, if you are in a contract by a certain date that you can't get out of, then you should be grandfathered. That's all I have to say on that.
You would think so. I mean, that's grandfather clauses are everywhere for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And So, okay, so now let's talk about a topic about. So I met with by the way, I met with 2 lawyers last week regarding the whole age restrictions. It's for your birthday.
Oh, it's not me this time. Okay.
No, it's not this time. But no, I met with a couple lawyers
You
last
probably
week.
have your husband at home just sweating right now. What do you mean she's meeting with lawyers?
And I was asking them about that, about the whole, what happens, what kind of stories do you have that's been going on? Is there any precedents that, any cases, what's been happening there regarding the age restriction and the complications that have been arising due to it? So anyways, that's where that comes from. So, and I met with Alex Cote, a mortgage provider from the Real Source. Like, he is an amazing guy and mortgage broker. And
pretty good hockey player, too.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah, my son used to play hockey with his son. I helped coach his kid years ago.
Yeah. Okay, so you know him very well. And I was talking about, we were talking about mortgages and talking about business and all that, of course. And he was telling me how November, December, he did so many reverse mortgages. And so I wanted to bring up an article from Better Homes and Garden about this, because he has seen it all over and a lot of it. And actually, a few of my clients in the past few months, same thing. I've been hearing that they're doing it as well. And I know you're trying to get your dad to do it, Curtis, but
I've been telling him to. You might as well.
Yeah. Because, people love their homes, don't want to move out of their homes, and there's a lot of equity there. But no, let's go to the article, though. So the Canadian seniors are racking up reverse mortgage debt at a rapid rate. And this goes exactly with what Alex was saying. Canadian homeowners aren't shy about cashing in on their windfall, especially seniors. Regulatory filings at Canada's bank regulator show reverse mortgage debt surged in November, exactly when Alex mentioned it started for his business. Despite rising interest rates, seniors haven't slowed down on the rush to cash out some of their home equity windfall. In fact, reverse mortgage debt has recently surged in growth, with the debt rising at an unusual fast rate for any credit segment. So what is a reverse mortgage for those who don't know? Reverse mortgages are loans dispersed as lump sum or regular payments secured by your home equity. It's similar to a home equity line of credit, which is a HELOC, but the big difference is in repayment. You don't have to make regular payments or prove you have the debt service capacity. Generally speaking, reverse mortgages only require repayment in the event of a death, a default, or sale. This allows seniors to draw on the home equity they've earned without needing to sell or worry about repayments they generally can't afford on a fixed income. If you don't have a retirement fund, this is one way seniors are supplementing their lack of income. The catch is interest accumulates in the background, eroding the home's equity you've built up. These loans generally have higher interest rates than traditional HELOCs or mortgage refinancing. Combined with the fact borrowers are seniors past their prime earning years, the situation is slanted towards not being able to pay it off. This will likely leave the borrowers with less equity than they expect at the end of their term, or their kids with a smaller inheritance. So Canada's seniors have been on a reverse mortgage borrowing spree, is what they're saying. The outstanding balance rose 5.9% in November compared to other debt segments. It's relatively small in total, but the growth rate makes it one of the fastest growing types of debt. Like all debt, by itself, a reverse mortgage isn't good or bad. It's a tool. Like any tool, if used properly, it can be an asset. But when used recklessly, you can lose a limb. On that note, let's check out the numbers. So the Canadian seniors owe $6.7 billion in reverse mortgage debt. Canada's seniors have been on reverse mortgage borrowing spree. They have an outstanding balance that rose to 5.9% in November. Compared to all debt segments, it's relatively small. But the growth rate makes it one of the fastest growing in debt. Canada's seniors, they are important to us, and we need to protect them. And if they don't have regular income, the banks aren't giving them mortgages. So this helps them. This helps them. Just like the property taxes we were talking about, Curtis. So, but monthly and annual growth were unusually fast in November. So monthly growth was the largest since October 2018, and a rate nearly 20 times that of regular mortgage debt. Rising nearly a third in just 1 year also makes annual growth unusual. It's a rate once again not seen since 2018. So that, though part of that has to do with the change in reporting it. The difference here is that we're seeing plain old growth just organically drive the trend. So now let's talk about I've got two other topics I would love to talk about, but I'm wondering what time we have left for a little bit.
You're going to have me do math?
You know what? Let's just go over this time. No, I'm joking.
We never do that.
We went over the first segment, so we won't go over this one.
We should try to behave. We're at 8.5 minutes.
So
I'll let you do the math on how much we have left.
So let's just talk about my coming new listings and this awesome commercial auction that's coming up. So the new listings coming up next week, listen up, Sasquatch detached corner large lot property. It's 2 stories. It's got 2 living spaces. It's a 7-minute walk to the gondola and the restaurant there. So this is an investor's dream, as well as you can live there, you can vacation there, you can have a worker there live in it, plus you can Airbnb it. The zoning is great. It's got a hot tub, and the price is $1,150,000. Keep your eyes out for that one. I'm listing that this week or next week. So another one, it's a double wide mobile with large, fully fenced yard and a huge driveway for lots of parking. And it's in Dooney DeRoche area off Taylor Road, and it has mountain views. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and is priced around $200K, and that's under assessed value. almost 1,500 square feet in size. And I do have a lender who is a bank that will finance mobile homes in parks. So if you have 50% or so to put down, you should be all good. And if you don't have a mortgage provider or a bank that will do that, I can refer you to Alex Cote. And 6-day countdown for commercial auction is here. I've got an auction coming up. Bidding, what do you call it? The gallet is going to be laid down on this property, and you bid.
The gavel?
The gavel. Thank you.
I had to think about that for a second. I'm like,
I'm checking on your English. We just talked about the English dictionary
I know,
and
but
what words mean.
I was a little confused myself. It took me a while to come around. I'm like,
I was confused.
Yeah, we both were.
Where's my coffee?
You know what? We need an assistant that brings us coffee.
We do. Coffee assistant. Out there, call us. So this one, this is a great mobile home park as well, and it's right towards the entry, not very close to the entry, but close enough to it to where you're backed off the road. But yeah, it's a really good place and allows dogs. Anyway, so going back to the auction. See, I do need my coffee. So I've got this amazing Woodside Inn, and it's got commercial space. You can have a restaurant, a diner. You can sell whatever. It's retail. The zoning is open. It's got lots of options. It's a future commercial zoning. It's got 4 motel rooms. If you built a second story on it, oh my gosh, the views are outstanding there. It's right on Mount Woodside. It's a perfect location. So the gavel is coming down on Thursday for that one. So if you want the website for the auction, please let me know. And then I've got a restaurant and a wonderful commercial building that is also going to auction, and that gavel's going down on the 23rd of March. So that's next month. So we got some time for that one for you to get in, have a look at everything. So again, if you want that website for that auction, you can go to my website and click the tab auctions, and you'll get to know about commercial auctions. If you have a commercial space and you're going, what is this and how can I sell my commercial building or business or industrial, whatever it is, commercial, yes, I could help you. All the information is there on the website under auction. And the quote for the week. Okay. The beginning of wisdom is this. Get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. And the author of that is God from his book, Proverbs 4:7. We were talking about wisdom earlier.
We were.
And how,
And funny how that worked. We circled right back around to wisdom.
Yes.
Because you're trying to help me with mine. I understand. If we want more information about the commercial property auctions, about your listings, things like that, where can people go?
That was almost reverse psychology. They can go to michelecummins.ca.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.